I fared through it.
Yeah, around here they get lots and lots of wind, but no, hasn't been much. In fact, that's what made that snow last week, the heavy snow, bad, because there was no wind to shake it off of the power lines and the rest. It's just been almost dead calm. Normally get all kinds of wind through here. And yeah, more CTE motor generator time, and it's in the shack and out of the garage, and I've got it made up the remote cables for it, so I've got it wired up into the CTE. But I just don't like that one bearing. It still runs hotter than the others. It's still, I mean, it's still okay. It's within spec, but it's like, oh well. So I think I got another nuts and bolts job. I'll probably end up tearing that generator apart again, and this new one, and replace the bearing. But it was quite the bear on the other one to get the old ones off with the right pullers, and man, getting it back on was really something. I had to put the whole armature in the freezer. I heated up the bearings in the oven, put gloves on, and even at that, it was barely getting it back on. So I'm not looking forward to it, but you know, I don't want to be kicking myself in the butt afterwards, and I should have replaced that bearing. U6MQI and U6F.
And U6F, W6MQI. Well, yeah, you'd be sorry. You put that thing back in that transmitter and it starts acting up. Oh, God. Having to pull that thing out again. Yeah, I was wondering if you froze one part and heated another part. I wonder if you've done that, but sounds like you're all over it. Yeah, I got this has been going on for a while. I just haven't dealt with it, but I got one of the, I can't tell if it's the internal fan or the external fan on the GR106 in the amplifier. It's got like one of the bearings, I don't know, it gets out around or something in there, and I can hear the fan kind of speed up and then slow down, and then it runs good for a while, and then all of a sudden it kind of gets off center and goes, and then again it goes back on again. I think, crap, one more thing I got to fix.
Yeah, you know, you get to start to think, well, let's see. It hasn't had any maintenance for 50 years. I guess I'm catching up with it. Yeah, I know, on the T3, I thought I was going to be replacing the squirrel cage blower up in the PA, but no. It made a little bit of noise when I first heard it, but after that, it, knock on wood, seems to run just fine. But Tom was saying that it was really noisy, and he figured it wasn't going to last long, and I don't know, after it ran for an hour or so a couple years ago, I could figure the bearings are going to be pretty good, because I'll turn the radio off, and that squirrel cage thing, that blow will keep me coasting to a stop for another, 5 minutes, 10 minutes afterwards. Yeah, I know, hoping mechanical things will heal themselves. Yeah, it doesn't happen. Well, not sure if somebody else is on. I'm going to go ahead and grab another cup. W6MQI and U6F.
Alrighty, Ron, I can hear a fan in the background a little bit. That's how loud you are here. Nice signal today. Alright, W6MQI standing by. what you gotta do. KA7MOR. You hear him in there, Mike?
No, I don't. I just get a carrier off to the side, maybe, and I'll also want to be P3 case, so I don't have the greatest selectivity, and I'm still on the first cup of coffee, so I've got a lot of negative aspects here at the moment. W7MS.
Shoot, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm on the TCS today. Cycling the relays, got some dirty contacts.
Well, that and maybe the proverbial spider web, internal spider web is that. But sounded good. I was listening to you and my neighbor there, Ron, for a few minutes earlier while I was in the preview mode. So you two are sounding great.
Yeah, you sounded good here too. Let's hope it continues. So, cool. All right. Well, you're a lot stronger this week than you were last week, but I heard you.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll get into the specifics on the great power outage of 2023. But yeah, it was an exciting time.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing what happened there. Quite a few. Was it you, Chuck, and Henry were down?
Yeah, I think the total outage was 40,000.
Wow. All right. Well, we had ourselves a little power outage last, what was it, Friday, I guess, but we were only down for a couple hours. No big deal.
Well, I can't wait to see, but I was down for 6 days, 6 hours.
Oh, God, I can't imagine. Boy, that's the point where you're going to start losing food.
Well, I do have a 2000 watt inverter generator, so I can play musical load sharing and musical suicide chord transfers.
Yeah, that's something I've been talking about doing that for 10 years, and I still haven't done it.
Well, I'm glad because NV Energy kept pushing out the expected restoration days for the general outage. And it was aggravating. I finally lost it on a Thursday night and dropped in on the supervisor in Las Vegas.
All right. Well, that was weird. Okay, well, we're still here.
You sounded good, and I heard a little bit about your continuing GRC 106 voyage. But you're the man.
Okay, something happened here. My receiver has died, so I'm barely hearing you now. Let's see what's going on here.
Okay, well, coming in at, I'm still hitting 100% modulation, so I think we're doing okay. But we'll just stand by and let, I don't know who the heck's control, since we were, last Sunday was a state of confusion, W7.
Hey, Zero, BWC, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Chuck. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, Chuck.
Well, you gentlemen are sounding mighty fine this morning. I've heard you, Mike, and I've heard Ron, and I've heard Dave. So you fellas are coming in really good here in Dayton this morning. And yes, Mike, I definitely felt your pain as well. I was down for damn near 4 days here. And I was cussing Sierra pathetic also.
Yeah, and there's kind of mutual hate here, even on the Northern Nevada end for the NV Energy employees, the line crew. They're not going to say much to me, but they let a few things spill out about their opinions of the Las Vegas operation, because that's where they're dispatched from.
Yeah, that's what I had heard also. But You know, I really think it's time for those folks to seriously start looking at their 1970s infrastructure and stop fixing that and get some modern technology in here and get that done. And, you know, it would be the same old excuse where we don't have any money. Well, I don't really buy that either, but, you know, you never know.
Well, the issue is that most of their in-house construction activities are just contracted out. That's one big deal. They don't have the resources they used to have. Number two for me was the smart meter. And I'll get into this. And no one could understand this. I would put copious notes in the ticket, and then they would close it. That's the smart meter here shows good power. And that's because I had drop damage, and I only lost neutral, which meant I had 240 AC 2-wire, but essentially no 120, and I'm not stupid enough to have my 120 breakers tripped on with a neutral fault because that I may have smoking devices in the house. And I could power my well pump intermittently to keep fresh groundwater in the in my water company, so I don't have freeze damage. And it was exasperated. I finally cut the power drop myself with pruning shears, and thus created an outage from the perspective of the smart power meter. Finally got him out here. It was amazing.
Wow. Way to go, Mike. Well, needless to say, it was all kind of a frustrating ordeal, and but it's done with. Water under the bridge, I guess, but definitely worth noting. And you know, I don't know what the situation was in the Bay Area. I had heard rumors of flooding over there and stuff. I was just wondering if our fellow ham folks over there stayed out of trouble with, if anything, the flooding. Have you heard anything with both palms? Anything happened with them?
He lost his antennas. That's all he's talked about.
Okay, Ron, thanks for the update. Yeah, I think we've benefited from the rain shadow on a few of these events. It's really affected the folks on the west side, W7MS.
WA7, YBS.
W6JRY.
And W6 SSP. Good morning, all. Good morning, gentlemen. Morning. Good morning. All right. Let me just give a quick rundown of everybody that I've copied so far before the net starts here. Let's see. Stand by for just 1 second, please. Okay, I caught myself up. Okay. I've got 6 of us here. I'm gonna give you the rundown as I have it here, and this is just based solely on who I heard first. In 1 spot, I've got Dave, W6MQI. In the 2 spot, I've got Ron, MU6F. In the 3 spot, I've got Mike, W7MS. In the 4 spot, I got Henry, WA7YBS. In the 5 spot, I've got Jerry, W6GRY. And in the 6th spot, I've got Steve, W6SSP. So good morning to all you gentlemen. You all sound very good this morning. I'm glad you guys could be here. And like last week, it was pretty messed up. Let me call out for an early check-in here for anybody else who wants to check in early in B number 7. And see if there's anybody else out there. B number 7 for the Vintage Military Radio Net. Come now. Okay, nothing heard. I guess if you guys want to get another cup of coffee or something, that'd be great. I think I'm going to get me one too, because we've got about 4 minutes or so before the net starts. So You guys stand by here for just a minute or two, and then we'll get the next started. This is K0DWC.
Hey, Chuck, there was a carrier on there, but no audio. I don't know if you heard that or not. Pretty strong carrier.
Okay, Henry. No, I'm sorry. I didn't hear it. Thanks for popping in and letting me know. Is there anyone out there that would like to be number 7? I'll be listening hard this time. Come now. I don't know. Is that Bill?
I don't hear anything now. That carrier was like S9. It was pretty strong. And I don't hear anything now except the usual adjacent frequency activity.
Well, we'd have to suspect Brad M7 RCA.
That's a good point, Mike. M7 RCA, Brad, are you out there? It's K0DWC. Okay, we'll be standing by here in just a minute for the next, so if anybody wants to grab a cup of coffee, now's the time. It's K0DWC. I'm going to go get me a cup right now. I think I heard Robert out there, W7MKA. Robert, is that you? Over.
Yeah, this is W7MKA here. Didn't think that just, I think that was me, this carrier, had to switch to the CW position.
Well, I heard about 70% of what Robert said, but he's kind of in and out. Henry, or any of you fellas to pick him up any better?
Robert has a good carrier, but not a whole lot of audio. Mike, do you copy it the same way?
Yes, sir. Same here.
Okay, Robert. I heard about 70% of your transmission there. I've got you in the number 7 spot. Like the fellow said, big carrier, low audio, but I did hear some of what you had to say. I'm going to put you in the number 7 spot in the lineup. Is there anyone else that would like to check in here in the next minute or so? Be number 8 for the Vintage Military Radio Net from now. Okay, nothing heard. So stand by here for just a minute and we'll be right back.
Like to have dead airspace on there for any length of time, so I'll make a little transmission till Chuck gets back. And as you can probably tell, I'm out in the shop. I'm on the T368. I'm running the 2 halfways in phase. Had to do a little antenna repair. It broke a couple of weeks ago on the north leg. Broke off. That was the easiest antenna to repair. The 135 foot that I normally use for the house station is buried under snow and under my 35 foot locust tree, which is no longer vertical. It fell down and landed right on the antenna, and it took down that 135 foot inverted V pretty quickly. Snow on top of it. It's the interesting thing is when the tree toppled over onto the antenna, it pulled the Johnson kilowatt matchbox via the feed line up to the wall, jumped right off of the desk and up against the wall, so made a lot of racket. But that was our little incident, and to why we are on the 2 halfways in phase, the T368, and running about 350 watts of carrier. Chuck, are you back yet? K0DWC, WA7, YBS.
Yeah, Henry, thanks for holding on for me. I'm back. I was sitting there listening to you. Yeah, I'm glad you got your antenna back up. At least, you know, some of it. You got a really great signal as usual. Okay, guys, let's start the net. This is a vintage military radio net. Good morning to all. This is K0DWC. My name's Chuck, and I'll be your net control this morning, and we'll be operating on 3974 kilocycles. Vintage Military Radio Net is a roundtable AM net that provides an opportunity for hams, licensed hams, to operate their vintage military radio gear on the air. Military gear is encouraged. It's certainly not required. Check-ins will be given a number that can be used in the handoff. I'll call for check-ins at the end of each roundtable session. If anyone has anything for sale or a want, please mention it during your turn in the roundtable session. So, with that, and I do want to say good morning to Tom there in Richmond, WA6OPE, if you're listening. I understand your antennas were knocked down, and hope you can get it back up soon. And we miss you here on the net. You, like the other gentlemen here, are very important parts of this net and make it run. So hope you get everything up and running real soon. All righty. Here's the rundown again. I'll give you one more quick rundown, and then I'll make a call for check-in. We'll check in. Number 1 is W6MQI. Number 2, MU6F. Number 3, W7MS. Number 4, WA7YBS. Number 5, W6JRY. Number 5, W6JRY. Number 6, W6SSP. And number 7, W7MKA. Is there anyone else that would like to join us first round? Come now. Okay, I heard nothing. If you guys hear something, feel free to pop in, because the adjacent frequency activity is kind of not good right now anyway. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started here. We are running the ART-13 this morning with the R390A. This is the W4DVQ ART-13, which I have to pay rent on, by the way. And using a T32 microphone with the electret module and an inverted D, so that's 200 watts. So that's what the rundown is here. And glad all you fellas are here this morning. Last week was kind of a bust, and you know, I think that's the first missed net we've all had in many years. So, but anyway, you know, what are you going to do? Mike's out of power for days on end, so was I, and you know, it just couldn't be helped. So anyway, glad you guys are here. That's the main thing. So with that, we'll go ahead and send it to the top there to Dave. Dave, I'm glad your power outage was very minimal. So, and I hope you can get that fan fixed on that GRC 106. W6MQI in the group. This is K0DWC. Go ahead, Dave.
All right, Chuck, K0DWC, W6MQI, and I believe Bill is in there. I'm going to stand by here a second.
On the generator power right now.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Dave. I did hear Bill that time. Bill, I've got you in the number 8 spot. N6BCT. Bill. in the number 8 spot. And Bill, barring any more check-ins, you'll hand it back to me, K0DWC. So, okay, Dave, thank you for that pop in there. Go ahead and continue. W6MQI, go ahead.
All right, W6MQI here. All righty. Yeah, this is Dave in Livermore, and yeah, our power outage was pretty minimal. Not long at all, which was cool. It was cool. I hate when the power goes out, and it always seems to happen at night too. So, and people were asking about the flooding and such down here. No flooding in my neighborhood or anything. I have a creek not too far from us that a Lake Del Val dumps into, and they've been releasing water. And one of the parks that my wife manages, they had to close the park for fear of, always got somebody who wants to get on a raft or a kayak, and get in the river, and then there's a water rescue. I mean, there's so much debris and stuff in the creeks right now. They were worried, somebody would drown or such. But anyway, they had to close one of the parks, and but I guess there was a lot of flooding around the Bay Area. Not too bad here in Livermore, though. We did get quite a bit of wind. Boy, last night it was just howling about 12 o'clock. I was getting a little worried about my antennas, but came out this morning and everything was still there, so we're all good. So anyway, I'm on the TCS setup today, the TCS6 receiver and the TCS14 transmitter, driving the Drake L7 amplifier with a D104 microphone. All stations are nice and loud here. I'm not hearing Robert too well. I'm hearing Bill, but the audio's a little distorted. Chuck, got some really deep QSB on you. A couple of times you almost disappeared on me, but when you're up, you're up. And I would say Henry is top dog today. Man, you're slamming in here today with that T3, and he's sounding really good. So, with that, over to Ron, NU6F W6MQI.
Okay, good deal, Dave. Good copy. And yeah, I'm hearing on deep fades on a couple of folks off and on. So, but yeah, by and large, it's pretty good. Some other weird interference I can't really make out, but and Bill, I could just tell he was in there. That was all. So I guess my interference, at least from that direction, it's up there. And I'm on the also on the other T3 and the long wire and the R390 receiver, D104 mic, 330 watts, and a carrier, and yeah, the ham shack is a little bit heavier again. The MG set is now in the ham shack and not out in the garage, so tired of working on cold steel and grease. So anyhow, with that, and power outages here, yeah, no, not at all. So, but I had 28 years of 6 miles out of Colfax, out in Tahoe National Forest, and yeah, winter times were pretty much the same, and 2 weeks was probably the longest, but without power. But that was one of the benefits, at least, of moving in town. So I'm surprised, like with Mike, and I talked to somebody else out in Sun Valley, same thing, out for 4, 5, 6 days like that. But like you say, almost everybody's using contract linemen anymore. Very few full-time staff for line maintenance. All right, with that, I'll pass it over to Mike. W7MF NU6F.
Well, thank you, Ron. Great signal from the T3 NU6F in the Sunday morning military net Nevada edition. Let's make it Nevada. W7MS. Well, thanks, Chuck, for running the show. And I'm proud to, well, I don't know, I guess you've had a reassessment of terms of use on your ART-13, because rather than lend-lease, it's now a rental agreement. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but good for you. Dave, thanks for the rundown on flooding and the comments from Ron and about the OPE's antenna issues. And Ron's working on the MG set. Yeah, cold weather, fingers and grease. Yeah, very unpleasant. Not a good time for quality work or quality assurance if you're so uncomfortable doing maintenance. So good job on the bringing the shop into the interior with the motor generator. So looking forward to hearing that soon. Henry, you got just like Ron, you got the big station up, and I'm glad to see the kilowatt matchbox fulfilled another function as giving up its life to save the feed line or whatever, but at least it came to a screeching halt at some point on its way out the door. So that's great. Good morning, Jerry, Steve. Yeah, Robert was a little light. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I did hear Bill. It's always so interesting that I made Bill's transmission out, but Ron up the street didn't hear him, and it's just luck of the draw, because it'll probably be the other way around on the next time. So running the ART-13, amplified D104, listening on the BC348Q, that is dyno powered, AC for the ART-13. Antenna is the usual coax-fed dipole, and that survived. Apparently my pulleys are on the right tree limbs, because there's quite a mess here for me to clean up. It's so voluminous that may get somebody in here with a chipper, but right now I'm sure the chipper business is booming and will be for months, so it's not stuff's not going anywhere. But yeah, as far as the power outages, the smart meter issue was, I think some of it's automation in the ticketing system that you submit an outage ticket or call a ticket in or do one via the phone. I think the automation reaches out eventually, sees good power on the smart meter, and closes the ticket out. And that was my issue. There may have also been, I'm assuming, maybe physical human intervention on the tickets, but if so, they weren't reading the notes. So hence my shears and the power drop cut. In other words, to enable the smart meter to report no power, or not to report at all, would basically be it. So that was the explanation on that. So if you ever have a partial outage, the smart meter is still working. Do something about it, because they'll never show up. But over to you, Henry. Glad to hear you. It's a great day. WA7YBS, W7MS.
Okay. W7MS, WA7YBS. Okay. Good morning to all. Good signals from everybody. And as mentioned there, Robert was a little light on the modulation, a good carrier. And Bill was Q4, pretty strong signal, but a lot of adjacent channel stuff. So that was probably the reason for the Q4 on Bill. Okay, yeah, real good on the power outage. Ours was out for 11 hours, 11 and a half. It was all night. Yeah, it went off at like about 5:30 or so in the afternoon. Came on at 4 o'clock in the morning. So for the most part, tried to sleep through it. Power outage, that is. But the problem was here was the rain that preceded that really heavy wet snow. It soaked the ground up really good, because it rained for about probably a good long time, 12 hours, something like that. And so it soaked the ground really good around that Idaho locust tree. And get that wet snow on it, it just stuck to that. And it was snow from the base of the trunk to the top of the tree, and it was just too much for it. It just over it went, and it fell over and landed right on the antenna. With the excitement that happened, after that, with the Johnson matchbox flying across the room. It wasn't really across the room, but, you know, anyway, it is slammed up against the wall. And otherwise, might have been another hour or two before we knew the tree fell down. But anyway, the two halfways in fast was an easy repair, and so it was the easiest to get done. And we did that a couple of days ago, got that fixed, and then to get the Resnor, the gas heater for the shop here, to get it running. I swear it took 50 matches to get the pilot light lit. Oh man, I was getting a really sore hand from holding down that little pilot light switch deal there. The valve to get your pilot light going and heat up the sensor in there. But finally on the 50th match, I got it to light. But once it runs, you know, like today, this morning, I let it off first try. So anyway, that's what happens when you don't use a Resnor for about 3 years. And so anyway, that was our little excitement. The flood, the river, the Carson River got up to 14 feet. Darn near came in the back property, but didn't quite make it. I mean, it was within 20 feet of getting onto the back part of the property, but didn't quite make it. River was, of course, over the banks, all through the park, stuff like that. So, just typical excitement here in Game Valley. Over to Jerry, W6. Oh, I'm listening on the R725, the R390A with the Series 500 IF deck in it, which is like an R390 IF deck, so no mechanical filters. And of course, we are running the G3 at about 350 watts of carrier power, two halfways in phase antenna, 275-foot center fed, and then the communal D1041. Over to you, Jerry, W6JRY, W87, YBS.
Hey, Henry, very good. W87 YBS in the group, W6JRY. Really great signals today. Everybody really strong here. And some high-powered rigs on the air, too. Number of T368s there with Ron and Henry. And the ART-13s with Chuck at 200 watts. Well, we're on the ART-13 here today, as usual. 100-watt output on it that we have due to the lack of any more high voltage in my power supply. But anyway, a great copy, almost too good. When things first started out, I was having a lot of kind of adjacent channel stuff. A lot of it coming from up north, I think Washington, Oregon, and other things. And same stuff here. We were out 2 days on the power, hauling generators out. I got two small ones. Well, one 2200 watt one and one 500 watt one, and kind of does the minimal things around here we need for the power outage. And the wind was the big problem here. Lots of rain, and I haven't even checked the rain gauge today. I don't even know what is down outside. It just all day long yesterday was rain. Unfortunately, yesterday was a horrible day for me because on Friday I got my COVID booster shot, and every time I get any kind of a booster or a flu shot or something like that, it just really nails me, and I was down and out from Friday night all through yesterday, but it seemed to have kind of worked itself out of me here a certain amount for today. Water levels and flooding going on around the Chico area and beyond Butte County. Lots of flooding going on there. Sacramento River is coming up, and more, of course, more rain predicted and higher levels. We've been hoping for water, and we're getting it, I guess. No snow here, though. We're at 2,400 feet, and the snow level seems to be up around the 4,000, 4,500 foot area. But I guess the Sierras on top are getting a lot of snow, and let's hope that's good. The lakes are coming up pretty good, too. Lake Orville, a lot of inflow there, Shasta Lake, Folsom, and so on. Okay, that's enough out of me, and let me get over there to Steve and see how things are at his location there. Over to you, Steve. W6SSP in the group W6GRY.
Okay, Jerry, thank you very much. Good to hear everybody on this morning. I'm watching the SWR jump all over the place. So I think I've got a palm frond sitting across the dipole. Not too surprising. Anyway, this is Steve, just north of Santa Rosa. Using the usual Collins 32V1 75A1 into a dipole about 30 feet up, I think, with a D104 mic. Well, I'll tell you, we had a big storm blow through last night here. Very, very heavy winds, a lot of lightning and thunder. And it was that type of thunder, that very deep booming thunder that kind of ricochets off the hills and just keeps going and going. Pretty neat, actually, but haven't been outside yet to assess the damage. I think my fan dipole was down. I can usually see the balun on that. It's up in the redwood trees. I don't see it now, so I've got my work cut out for me this week, along with cleaning up the mess. But you know what? After all the storms we've had, we never lost power, which is pretty amazing. Everybody around us has, and there's been quite a bit of flooding, street flooding, a lot of trees down, flooding beginning in the Russian River. It's going to be much worse this week, and the stream behind us runs into it, so it might back that up too. So we'll be watching that. And while I've got it, I wanted to mention that I met a young ham this week on the internet. He's looking for a Model 15 teletype machine. So if anybody in the San Francisco Bay Area has one of those available, something in the corner collecting dust they're not going to use, this guy's real interested. He's very mechanically inclined, and I've been talking to him about teletype machines in general, and he saw one working on the internet, a video, and just was mesmerized by that, so I'm kind of putting out the word for him. Anyway, that's it for me. Let's see, Robert, I couldn't copy you at all, so I don't know if you're hearing me, so I may need some help. Send it over to W7MKA. This is W6SSP.
MKA. Had to switch rigs here. I was on the 610 earlier and had some problems. My modulator current was just all over the place. It would jump up to 200 mils and down to nothing and then back up again. So I don't know if I've got a bad 100 TH or what. Have to wheel it into the bench maybe. But yeah, we're on the GRC 19 now. Good copy on everybody so far. And yeah, Steve, no problem there. We've managed to dodge the storms. I think I've got a friend local here that's kind of an amateur meteorologist. He said that they just hit the coast range and break up and go north and south. So we got some rain, but nowhere near the cold temperatures like they did further north up in Portland. So can't complain about that. We're down to Bill, 6 BCT to take it, W7MKA.
N6 BCT, it's your turn. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Bill, N6BCT. I heard about, I don't know, probably 70% of that. Anyway, you know, you still got a pretty good signal in. Just the audio is just a little bit muffled, but other than that, not too bad. But okay, very good. Let's see. Is there anybody else out there that would like to check in on the tail end of the first round for the Vintage Military Radio Net? Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Nothing heard. Alrighty, well, let's see here. Well, Robert, the GRC-19, just pounding through here, no problem. Very nice signal. It's good to hear one of them on the air. Thanks for putting that on. Sorry about the BC610 modulator problem, but I'm sure you'll get that fixed. But good to have you here this morning, Robert. And let's see, Jerry, you got a booming signal in here also. Very, very nice signal. Very strong, very sharp signal in. You're sounding really good. The rest of the guys, no problems at all. Everybody else is coming in just fine. And Jerry, we want you to take care of yourself and take care of Sharon. And hope you guys, hang on there. Yeah, okay. Anyway, you guys take care of yourself, Jerry. Take it easy and get better, and give Sharon our very best as well. So glad you're here this morning as well. Hey, Ron, I got to tell you, Carla wanted me to tell you that when the power was out, she got the old cast iron skillet and threw it on the old wood stove with the cowboy coffee pot, and that's how we ate. So that's. And it worked out very well. She got to experiment a little bit with that, you know, making a stove out of it, actually do the cooking and coffee brewing, and it worked out very well. So she wanted me to relay that to you. But anyway, hey Henry, I'm just curious. When you went in there to fire up the T3. After the reservoir had been running for a little bit, what was the actual temperature when you actually, you know, went in and joined the net? I was just curious. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's start round two, and we'll get back up to the top with W6MQI. Dave to take it. This is K0DWC. Go ahead, Dave.
All right, Chuck. W6MQI. Well, cool. Well, I was actually copying Robert okay with his even with his modulator problems. A little light on the audio, but I copied everything there, Robert. Down here in Livermore. Well, fine business on everybody's weather reports and damage reports and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, Steve, it was blowing like a mother down here too. I was getting worried about my antennas and trees and such, but. No thunder and lightning. That must have stayed north up in your place. We didn't have any of that. But let's see. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes open for a Model 15. Boy, those don't come around too often. Be nice to get another station on that Clatternet. I've been doing that. Did that yesterday with Tim, N6CC, W6YIC, K6YIC, wasn't able to make it, so, but I've been doing the Clatternet with the GRC 106, and it's working out just fine. So, that's been fun, and I'm in the process of trying to get my command sets, my SCR 274Ns back up and going. I had to take it all apart, make room for some other stuff, and finally pushed some stuff to the side on one of my shelves here. Figured, yeah, I could stick it right here. So I'm in the process of getting that all back together. Who knows? Maybe by next Sunday I'll have it going again. We shall see. And what else? I think that's about it. Not much else to say. I got to go back to work tomorrow after being off for 19 days. That does suck. I can't wait till I retire. A couple more years. But anyway, this microphone here. Anyway, I guess we're back over to Ron. I got nothing else here. MU6F, W6MQI.
A little pause there in case somebody else was around.
Well, still good copy. See what my issue is on receiving. I've got I went narrow and I can hear Bill, but I got a roll out there somewhere. It's putting out about a S8 carrier. Luckily, conditions are good enough so that everything can like that. So, well, okay. Let's see. Going, Chuck. Okay. There you are using your Lend-Lease Carla ART-13 while she was cast iron skillet mobile. And yeah, Dave, you mentioned Del Valle Reservoir. My brother used to be park superintendent up there before he went out to head up public works over there in Brentwood. But remember when he was out there at Del Valle, and yeah, the kayakers, boaters. Surf's up. Let's go for it. Mike, smart meter. Yeah. So, there you were on the horns of a dilemma, of all things. What do you mean? You got power. So, well, Henry on the Johnson matchbox, playing myself across the desk over to the wall. Your antenna fall indicating system is ending. And Jerry, yeah, I was thinking about that. Orville and Shasta, what they're looking like, and I see, yeah, it's been a long time since they've been stood a chance of topping off. Maybe so, if things keep up. And Steve, okay, on the flooding situation there, you know, it hasn't been that much. Got the storm drain canal here right behind me, and it goes over it out to Swan Lake. There's never been more than 2 foot of water in it. So, but when the stuff up in the Sierras here on this side melts, why, yeah, I'll have surfs up back there too. Robert, okay, on the no storm damage up in your neck of the woods. Yeah. Well. That's a plus, and then too bad about having to dig into yet one more radio with the 610. And, oh, wait a minute, I just thought of something here. I said we should be working on an NG set. Here, let's try this. There you go, for those of you that want to hear the familiar line of the GDE motor generator. There it is, in the shack. Turn her back off. All right, so much for the sound effects. With that, I'll pass it over to Mike, W7MS, Mr. Smart Meter himself, and you sick that.
Well, thanks, Ron. Yeah, you're the voice of Reno, and from now on I'll be Mr. Smart Meter. What's your name? Smart Meter. First and last name. And you 6W7MS. Good reception from Robert's making the trip. Just mighty fine to Reno with his last transmission, as he was previously, but hanging in there from Oregon. Yeah, and comments, anybody got projects, fighting with the reservoir? Just a book of matches rather than a big mallet, breaking the submission. Chuck's mentioning that famous frying pan that came his way. I thought I was going like that.
I think my variation is I have a gas cooktop, so rather than a auto ignite from the igniter, a book of matches provided me with a stovetop to ordeal substance. But yeah, what was I saying on the power outage? I was thinking back that I think it was 1960 as a little kid, the Great Daughter Fire. We took out the power feed, the transmission line from California, and at that time Reno had no generation on this side of the hill. So that was great. It was during the summer, and I still remember the Coleman stove out on the picnic table out in the backyard. You know, took out, great experience on a hot summer day. So it had created the safety power plant. The response for that, the Tracy power plant, Nevada-born power generation based on that the Great Daughter Fire, which now most of that whole area is scale housing. So keep an eye out because the next fire will be more than just national forest up there. But that's great projects on everybody. And here I'm probably going to admit that Henry may apologize, our top guy up in the great state of Idaho, up by the Canadian border, and all that interesting stuff that he comes up with on eBay. But I did purchase the AR-6 post-up receiver a month or so ago, and it will do a great front panel restoration. Internally, it's extremely impact, very reminiscent of command set upgrades. But the receiver will restore to original condition. I'm still debating whether I want to keep the same or improved amp-meter internal AC supply or go back to a 28-volt dyno motor. It won't be original, but it will be dyno powered. And we'll see. We'll continue with that. But on the past week or so, we just kind of put projects on hold and we just looked out the window and grumbled. So we did other things. Survival mode, just like Jerry and his generators. But let me see here. Well, I do want to comment that I don't think Ron actually had the motor generator running. That sure sounded like a shop vac to me. I'm going to dispute that. I'm going to start a conspiracy theory that the only thing that we heard this morning, Ron, was the shop vac there in the radio room. So with that, over to Henry, WA7YBS, W7NS.
Okay, Mike. W7MS, WA7YBS, checking the meters, and looks okay. Everything is just fine. And the one thing about this halfways in phase, it is a lot less reactive to movements and what's on the ground, whether it's dry dirt or whether it's snow. It just doesn't seem to care. It just stays the same, which is good. Okay, very good. Oh, shop temperature. You know, I didn't look this morning when I came out here and turned it on at after 6 o'clock. But yesterday, with the pre-test burn-in there, the Resnor, it was 33. And I got it up to 65 or so in about an hour. And it was 60, I think it was about 62 this morning when I came out here. And it's now 72. Resnor does a good job once you get it lit. But you got to stick your hand in this little kind of a squarish opening, about 4x4 opening, and the pilot light and the thermal sensor in there. And of course your other hand is back behind the Resnor, holding down the valve, the little button for the valve for the pilot light. And yeah, it's pretty, when it lights off, there's quite a bit of flame that comes flying out that square hole. If you're looking in there, it's not good. So we bought some really long matches. They're like about, I don't know, they're probably 8 or 10 inches long. And so I can light it off and be back far enough now when it goes off. It's no big deal. And so anyway, the excitement of a industrial-sized gas heater in the shop. let's see, projects. I swore I would never, ever buy another 51J4. And that was after owning two of them, not at the same time, but over a period of years. And you know it, I bought another one. So what can I say? Glutton for punishment, I guess. But a couple of interesting things about this J4. This is what motivated me to buy it. And first off, I think they kind of think that the light gray panel, smooth finish, kind of semi-gloss, light gray panel, 51J4s were laboratory receivers for various labs, Beckman and some of the other ones, and also for in-house Collins testing, their in-house uses. So anyway, it's a light gray panel 51J4. And the other interesting thing is that it has it doesn't have a 6kC mechanical filter. It's got this plug-in device that is a RC coupler. It gives you about 12 kC or so bandwidth in the 6kC position. So the most interesting thing and the motivation for getting it was the Collins product support operations sticker on the back of the chassis. So I don't know what it means, but it means something. Got the Collins logo and stated, incidentally stated March 1971 that it went through Collins for something. Anyway, that's the project. It didn't work very well when I first got it, and I thought, man, this thing takes like 5 minutes to warm up. And so we went through the tubes, testing the tubes, got to the mechanical filter preamp, and 12 BA6 installed instead of a 6 BA6. So nothing like a low gain stage when you have like half the filament voltage on the tube. So anyway, it's running pretty good now, but needs an alignment. So that's the rundown on the project. Probably bored everybody. But with that, let's turn it over to Jerry, W6JRY, WA7YBS.
Okay, thank you, Henry. WA7YBS and the group W6JRY. Good on everybody. A little trouble with Bill, and not due to signal. Actually, signal was fair, but seems like today, for some reason, I've had a decent channel, pretty strong adjacent channel stuff, although it's kind of gone away here just in the last few rounds of people, so maybe things will be better. Robert's doing okay up here, a little low on the audio, but Robert, we're copying you here in Forest Ranch, all right, and everybody still pretty much the same signal levels. It's on there. Okay, on your 51J4 acquisition there, Henry, and working on that. Well, few projects on the bench that hasn't had any attention here for weeks and weeks with so many other things going on. And it's cold down here. I just have one little area in the basement. Right now it's 50 degrees where I'm at, sitting here. 45 degrees outside. It hasn't been real cold, but down in the freezing area since we started getting the rains and so on. Actually, with the rains, temperatures up, but the wind and the rain are the kind of the problems. So, and I definitely could hear the motor generator there, Ron. That modulated the T368 very well. So, sounds like you're going to need, when you get that on the air, you're going to need headphones to hear what's going on there if you're going to have that much noise in the shack. Anyway, it sounded pretty good there. I'm going to say 73s. I don't have much else here, and I'll be listening, but looks like it's about that time anyway, so I'm going to pass it over to, let's see, over to Steve there. I'll be listening out, and everybody have a good rest of the week, although it looks like we're still in for more rain as far as the prediction I've been hearing here. So, Steve, here comes W6SSP 73s, and everybody have a good rest of the day. This is W6GRY.
Okay, Jerry, 73, and have a nice week. Hope it dries out where you are a little bit. Hope it dries out for all of us also. Talking about COVID shots and feeling lousy the day after that. Boy, I'll tell you, my wife and I have the same problem. Doesn't affect some people, but others it hurts. It's painful. So, well, that's how it goes. Hope you feel better soon. And Dave, very good on the command set stuff. Be good to hear that on the air. And talking about retirement in a couple of years, I highly recommend that. I went into that slowly over a course of several years, and I'll tell you, I've been having so much fun since then. Can't even express how much fun it's been. So, and Ron, very good about the motor generator set. Sounded great. It did sound a lot like my shop vac, but hey, you never know. Very good on that. And Mike, that's a great tip on the smart meter. Something to be aware of, and never really thought of that, but we've had neutral problems here before, and some of our neighbors have as well. So anyway, smart meters are a good option to troubleshooting now. Anyway, kind of weird. Well, my SWR continues to jump up from time to time, so I'm going to say 73 for now and go take a look at what the problem is. See y'all next weekend if the creek don't rise. Over to Robert, W7MKA, W6SSP, 73 on. Robert, W7MKA, are you there?
Yeah, I did not.
Well, I lost you again. I heard you for a split second, and then I lost you again, but it's your turn. W7MKA, K0DWC.
I bet he's still talking.
Okay, let's give him 15 more seconds, and then I'll send it over there to Bill there. Stand by just 1 second. Okay, well, we'll see if we can pick Robert up on the next go-around there. Robert, W7MKA, are you there? Over. Okay. Okay, Bill, N6BCT, go ahead and take it, Bill, and then hand it back up to me, K0DWC. Okay, I heard some of that, but I lost the tail end. Did Bill sign? Does anybody know, or did he just pass it to me?
He signed.
Okay, Dave, thanks. Okay. Okay, let me make one last call out to Robert here before we go to the 7-3 round. W7MKA, Robert, are you there? This is K0DWC. Nada. Okay. Alrighty. Well,
7-3s to Jerry, and to Steve, and to Bill. Steve, if you're still listening, a fellow close to Henry and I over here, John Lawson, he's a big teletype guy. I just traded him a Model 15 teletype for some 813 tubes here a while back, a working Model 15, but he's got a ton of early teletype Model 15, Model 28 stuff or whatever. I believe his call sign, and Henry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe his call sign was KB6SCO, was John Lawson's call sign. So Steve, if you're still listening, I just wanted to pass that along there for that kid, that new ham. So anyway, let's see here. Let's see, I just got a few notes here. Oh, Mike, a couple weeks ago I heard you on the Collins Collectors Net, and you were the net controller, and I thought you did an excellent job. So my hat's off to you. You did really good on that net. Yeah, I might have you for an alternate net control if Henry and I just by chance can't make it, like one Sunday morning, Last week was the closest that's happened, but you were out of power too, so, but if Henry and I are ever out of power on a Sunday morning, you can take the net. I'm sure you can do it, because you're great at it. So anyway, okay. Let's see. Carla, I wanted to mention that Carla and I on Friday became great grandparents. My oldest granddaughter gave birth to a baby boy at Renown on Friday night. He was like a little over 8 pounds. He's a pretty healthy baby, but anyway, the first great grandchild for Carla and I. So anyway, and let's see, Dave, did you? I wanted to ask you, did you see anything on the internet news about the 3 national laboratories that were hacked by computer hackers? And one of them was Lawrence Livermore Laboratories, and they tried to get them to respond, and none of them had any comment whatsoever to say. So I'm eagerly awaiting to see what transpires from that. I just thought it was interesting that one so close to our area was a prime target for some reason. But anyway, maybe you can comment on that next time around. But anyway, okay, let's see. Let me just make one last call out, see if anybody wants to get in on the tail end of the second round, and then we'll go to the 7-3 round. Anybody like to check in? And be number 9, come now. Okay, nothing heard. So with that, Dave, do you know anything about that at Lawrence Livermore? W6MQI, this is K0DWC. Go ahead, Dave.
K0DWC, W6MQI. Well, I've been out of the loop for the last couple weeks. I haven't heard anything, but the labs are attacked probably on a daily basis. May not be that often, but yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't put much into it. For some reason, the media got a hold of it, but yeah, there's always some bad guy trying to get in. They go to great lengths to drag guys out, but every once in a while, it gets out into the public. Something happened, but right now, I don't know. I haven't heard anything, so I can't really comment on it. We even had a van one time that was parked on a adjacent street. Yeah, it's a little bit of ways from probably the center of the labs there, and they got pulled over or investigated by the local protection force, and they had all kinds of listening equipment and stuff and such in there. So it happens, man. It happens. All right. Well, I meant to mention last time, I am still looking for a couple of working TA 1042 telephones, Army field telephones. TA 1042. I want to set up a intercom between the shack out here in the backyard and the main house, so the wife doesn't have to come running out here when it's raining and such, because sometimes I forget to bring my phone, and give her a way to get in contact with me. I kind of want to stay with that military look and feel. So TA 1042 is what I'm looking for, 2 of them. And Ron, I was going to turn my GRC 106 on, let you listen to the fan on that, but my microphone won't reach that far. So you're lucky. But that sounds pretty loud. I would definitely be wearing a pair of headphones and on radio. Man, I do it with my 106, just to make it a little more pleasant. And I've been trying to check into that Wednesday night net on 75 meters, that West Coast upper sideband net. I've yet to pull that one off. So one of these days. So anyway, I think that's it. And I will say 73, and hopefully next week I'll have the commencements running, but I don't know yet. 73, everybody. Over to Ron, NU6F, W6MQI.
Okay, good deal, Dave. Yeah, I think I'm going to see interior I'm hearing might be my security, one of those security cameras that but still confident, pretty fine. And congratulations for you and Carla on the great-grandson now. Steve, okay, on juggling stuff around. You want a spot in there for the R5s again. And yeah, and your search for a vintage intercom system. None of these wireless Chicom made junk. You want something that's real solid state. All right, now I'm sure you'll find something. Mike, yes, you're right. It's at least as noisy as a 10-gallon three-phase shop vac. Oh my God! The only plus of having that the MG set outside the radio is I could probably make a ventilated enclosure. It may sound dead in itself, but yeah, we can see why. Your phone is much mandatory around that thing. And that's quiet. Oh my gosh, the other one with the coupling unit was where I got a read machine. It was really noisy. I pitch one communication. That's real solid state for you. Okay, but it has that solid support proudly on the website. Very signed, started with a 60-degree basement, but at least it's free. Steve signed, I'll look at the palm trees, things. Sounds good. All right, well, good hearing everybody in here. Take it away, W7MF. Thank you all. That was terrible.
Where it was my NU6F, well, I'll start at the top of the list so I don't omit Chuck and yeah, congratulations on the great grand today. That's a shocker. I guess we're all advancing in age. And local. So you could do this again. Congratulations on that. Well, acting net control, that would be fine. London was last week as a point, but no problem. I did get that text message. Yeah, and I've been doing the call today for the original gentleman suffered which turned out to be a catastrophic burn incident, and he died at Warner. Very tragic circumstances. I was engaged as a temporary one in the Fourth Friday guy for a while now, but thanks for the comments. Flowers on that. And over to Dave. I forgot to comment on 19 days. Great story on the end when you listen. It's, oh boy, that's way guys movies, isn't it? But great story. But Anna, following your Clatternet comments, and you want for the original 42. So that's good luck on that, but it's all public out there on the internet. And Intercom want, but fantastic on that. Steve's comments on retirement. What I thought was that with all this weather and power issues, well, I hope my replacement worker was having all kinds of fun, and I know he made all kinds of money, but better him than me. And I have no clue. I don't care. But that thought did occur to me several days into my power outage that would have really have been a paycheck versus personal interest situation. But great on that Henry's 51J4 project. I got a feeling that probably came from John Lawson. He doesn't have to comment because it's all a secret out there. But I think John was bragging that he had reached a milestone, Chuck, that he had divested himself of all of his teletype equipment except his one keeper. But I joked with John that we'll see how long that lasts, because if something comes along for Mr. KB6SCO, he's on the trail. He's bird dogging that stuff. So we'll maybe it's still worth a reach out to see what he has to say on that, or he can do a referral. But 7-3s to everyone. I think, yeah, Jerry, Steve, Robert had 3 words and then dropped. It must be technical issues. And Bill was Q5 in the beginning, but no longer Q5. So that's the way it goes. So we'll say 7-3s from Reno. Turn it over to Henry, WA7YBS, W7MS.
Okay, Mike. W7MS, WA7YABS. Okay, very good. Well, 73 all stations who have signed. And I can't believe that John got rid of all of his teletype stuff, because that's what I did. I got rid of all of my teletype stuff to John. But I did save some things, which was my Model 19, because that was essentially a brand new Model 19 when I got it in 1974, and it works like one. It's amazing how well they worked when they weren't beat to death 24 hours a day. And then the other is the little one that I got from John, the compact, the Model 28 compact, the teletype machine that's the size of a IBM Selectric typewriter. And that one I got working and does a pretty good job. But I have so much RF induced problems, feedback, or whatever you want to call it, upstairs. When I try to run teletype, it's just it just doesn't work, because I use the KWS1, and of course I got to knock the power back to about 150 watts, and but still, the RF gets into the TU, and it just sounds terrible. And but anyway, teletype prevails. But it is interesting. Recommend, Steve, that guy, that kid, goes to my website and goes to the section Real Radio Teletype. No, sir. RTTY with Real Machines. That's right. RTTY with Real Machines. And I got a lot of stuff there on teletype. And but John, KB6SCO, yes. I did not get the J4 from him. I did trade John a 51 J4 that came from Gary Halverson. I got it from Halverson and had it for a couple of years, and then John offered me a trade that I couldn't resist, and so it as far as I know, still John has it, that 51 J4, but I got this one off of Evil Bay. And so anyway, there you go. What can you say? The roots of evil. With that, 73 all around. Everybody have a good week coming up. Hopefully we won't get washed away, and we'll be here next week. Over to Steve, W6SSP, WA7, YBS.
Yeah, Henry. Steve signed on the second round there. He said he had to go too. So anyway, that finishes it there. That's all of us that have signed. I did want to, if Gary Halverson's listening, I wanted to wish my friend a belated happy birthday from us, and hope he's doing well. I haven't heard him on in a while. I've heard rumors that he may have sold his ham equipment, which I can't believe he'd sell everything. But any of you guys that are still on frequency, maybe you could enlighten me here. But anyway, happy birthday, Gary. Miss hearing you on the radio and Bobby Hallicrafters. So, okay. Well, with that, this is K0DWC, and I'll be securing the Vintage Military Radio Net. And I'd like to thank everyone for their participation. Invite everyone back next Sunday night. And with that, we will turn the frequency back over to regular amateur use. So this is K0DWC officially ending the net for today. So 7-3s, gentlemen, and have a good, safe day today and a good, safe week ahead. And Henry will be net control next weekend, and we'll talk to all of you then. So 7-3s, guys. This is K0DWC, and I'm signing.